Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Reggae Month and official Jamaica 60 activity. In recognition of Jamaica's Diamond Jubilee this year, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport have revealed that Reggae Month 2022 will be officially Jamaica 60 activity. Now in its 15th year, Reggae Month will include a range of events in Jamaica and the diaspora. Culture Minister Oliver Grange revealed at Sunday's launch that Caesar alongside a 35-piece orchestra will be one of the highlights for the month. Music veterans John Williams, Ivor Cooper, and Dean Fraser will also play in the orchestra. The ministry will again be teaming up with VP Records in the staging of the closing event for Reggae Month on Sunday, February 27. Sections of St. Anne, St. Mary Portland flooded due to heavy rain. Heavy rains overnight have left several roads in St. Anne, St. Mary and Portland impassable. The National Works Agency NWA says flooding was reported along Runaway Bay and Crossroad in St. Anne, as well as Seamans Valley Road in Rio Grande Valley, Portland. In St. Mary, rivers are increased and have overflown onto the roads in Dresiki and Drax River. NWA Communication Manager Stephen Shaw said the water has significantly receded in Runaway Bay and the NWA is in the process of clearing the road. Mayor of Port Maria Richard Query has lamented that millions of dollars in the losses for business operators in the town center after their establishments were flooded during the heavy rains. Mr. Query and residents of Port Maria, St. Mary stood in knee-height and, in some areas, waist-height water to survey the damage on Tuesday morning. The Port Maria Primary and several businesses in the town were flooded. Every time that happens, my heart goes out to those persons who would have lost millions of dollars, the mayor lamented, adding that the recovery process is going to be a long one. He further stated that the drainage plan for the town should be fast-tracked. The mayor told reporters that other areas of the parish, including Islington and Arcabessa, were also flooded. Jamalco expected to resume operations in June following fire. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says he expects resumption of refinery operations at Jamalco in June following last year's fire. Dr. Clark told the House of Representatives on Tuesday afternoon that new boilers have now arrived at the refinery as operators accelerate efforts to resume production. He says resumption is being carried out in phases. All mining contracts were suspended with effect from the 6th of October 2021. Limited reclamation and rehabilitation works are ongoing. However, the expectation is that with boilers now arriving and installation commencing, Phase 1 production will begin by the end of June. As such, mining activities are expected to resume to some extent in the weeks prior to the Phase 1 resumption, he revealed. The fire at Jamalco in August last year was reported to cost the company and estimated at US $500,000 per day in losses. Jackson wants parliamentary debate on banking bill to begin. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine South, Fitz Jackson, has written to Leader of the Government Business in the House of Representatives, Edmund Bartlett, requesting that the Banking Services Amendment Act 2020 be placed on Tuesday's agenda and approved. Mr. Jackson told reporters that he has recommended that the debate begin on the bill immediately. There have been divergent views on whether the government should seek to regulate banks following the fees hike announced by National Commercial Bank and Scotiabank. Denzel Williams, professor of international business at the University of the West Indies, says banks should do a delayed analysis of their customer base so that they charge affordable fees. On the other hand, he said customers should bear in mind that banks incur significant operational cost. St. Mary Court to be closed Wednesday for flooding clean-up. The St. Mary Parish Court in Port Maria will be closed on Wednesday following flooding yesterday. Court staff and members of the public were trapped inside the building, had to be assisted by members of the Jamaica Defense Force. The Court Administration Division said no one was injured and there was no significant damage to the court building. According to Communications and Information Director Kedisha Fletcher, Wednesday's closure is to facilitate cleanup activities. During the closure, All matters including children's court hearing that were scheduled for Port Mario will be heard in Anoto Bay outstation. Several parts of the St. Mary capital as well as St. Anne were left inundated as overnight rains caused river to overflow their banks. DPP still awaiting forensic evidence in Nsinga King case. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Paula Llewellyn is still awaiting forensic evidence in the case involving Nsinga King, the Rastafarian woman who claimed she was trimmed while in police custody. The DPP wrote to the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom last month requesting the additional information. Indicom had reported that a file on its probe into allegations of assault and unprofessional conduct by the police was submitted to the DPP for ruling in November. Indicom had cautioned that any ruling by the DPP would not affect Ms. King's ability to pursue civil remedies. Ms. King said her locks were cut while she was being held at Four Pass Police Station in Clarendon on July 22. Energy Minister to give update on future Petrojam in sectoral debate. Energy Minister Darrell Valls is to provide an update regarding the fate of Petrojam in the upcoming sectoral debate. In 2019, the Chris Zucker-led Petrojam Strategic Review Committee recommended privatizing the entity or shutting down refinery operation if no one is interested in leasing it. The committee pointed to increasing losses by Petrojam, high operating expenses, and Petrojam's inability to adapt to new fuel and environmental standards as some of the issues dogging the refinery. On Tuesday afternoon in the House of Representatives, opposition spokesman on energy Philip Paulwell said it was critical for Jamaicans to be told what will happen to Petrojam. Responding to the concern, Mr. Valls said his ministry is still reviewing the recommendations and will soon report back to Cabinet on the matter. So, I'm expecting that by the time I come to the sectoral, I'll be able to answer more fulsome in terms of some of the issues that you have raised, he stated. Digicel declares February Safer Internet Month. Communications group Digicel aims to inspire a much bigger conversation about using internet-based technology more responsibly and safely by declaring February Safer Internet Month. The move is an expansion of the global celebration of Safer Internet Day that will be observed on Tuesday, February 8, 2022. One day is simply not enough. This is why over the 28 days, we'll be hosting a number of candid, informative, and interactive conversations with students, parents, caregivers, teachers, and policymakers about how to better manage online dangers, commented Digicel CEO Jabor. He added that with many more of our young and vulnerable persons getting things done online, it is of critical importance for us to raise awareness and to give them the tools to safely navigate the internet while they contribute to making it a safer space for all. Safer Internet Month gets out of the blocks on February 1 with the first edition of the weekly virtual series dubbed Tech Talk Tuesday, aired at Digital Jamaica on Facebook and Instagram at 6:30 p.m. every Tuesday in February. The live rap session will involve students, parents, digital experts, and social media influencers who will explore different aspects of our online lives. This Tuesday's topic, cyberbullying and you. Through a partnership with the National Secondary Schools Council (NSSC), Digicel will launch its Tech Time Online Ambassador Initiative, inviting students to submit one of the 2-minute videos of them performing an original jingle promoting the do's and don'ts of online behavior. Students are required to form school teams and submit their videos to nsscja@gmail.com in order to enter. Online users can vote for their favorite video on @NSSC_JA Instagram page and for their school via the BIP Safe Spot channel in the BIP Advanced Messaging app from February 15 to 23, 2022. The winning team will be awarded 4 Chucker Cove Ultimate Explorer passes, while the school that receives the most BIP votes will receive a $100,000 donation. Digicel has also joined forces with the Jamaican Association for Debating and Employment JADE to foster critical thinking in the online space by sponsoring a round of the National Debating Championships. The competition will engage secondary and tertiary students between the ages of 14 to 25 in a series of debates around safer internet practices and accountability on February 27 and March 3rd. The debates will be aired live at Jade's social media pages at Jade Limited. Safer Internet Date was established to encourage stakeholders to make greater efforts to make the internet a safer space for all, especially vulnerable groups, especially our children. In light of the increased role of technology in our everyday lives due to the pandemic, Digicel is going all out to get everyone involved through provoking conversations that can lead to positive behavior change online. Anyone who is a student, parent, aspirant influencer, or just interested in being more vigilant online can benefit from part of the month of activities. Persons can follow Digicel on social media at Digicel Jamaica for updates on the month of activities and how they can participate. Improvement in Virtual Teaching Environment Education Ministry. The Education and Youth Ministry says it has been steadily engineering changes in the system to ensure greater levels of equity, improve processes and access to deliver high-quality education for all students. Portfolio Minister Favor Williams has reported that significant strides had been made to improve the virtual teaching environment, which she noted is among the critical areas targeted for strengthening. According to a release, Williams, who was addressing the Virtual Jamaica Teaching Council's JTC's Mentoring and Induction of Beginning Teachers for 2022 closing ceremony on Monday, January 31st, said these changes reflect the maturing of the education system. The classroom you will see when you return as educators is one in which students and teachers have more learning devices than at any other time in our history, and the digital divide, though not close as yet, has been greatly narrowed, she said. She noted that COVID-19 pandemic has forced the reconstructing of the education system, moving most teaching and learning activities to the online space. I ensure you that the education system in Jamaica is responsive to the changing times and has been strengthened to absorb shocks and have been provided with resources to become more agile, targeted, and responsive to individual learning needs, the minister added. Williams commended the approximately 1,000 beginning teachers cohort who are entering the profession at a critical and consequential moment. We at the ministry are excited to welcome you to the profession, and we have high expectations of you, she said. Senior Director, Teacher Development Services JTC, Alison Solomon, said the council has adjusted its program to prepare new educators for the new teaching landscape. This cohort has represented how the system has pivoted in teacher preparation with increased reliance on technology, shifts in operating norms and health protocols, and other pandemic-related changes. By supporting teachers, we support students, their learning, and the substantial of robust teaching system, Solomon said. In addition to the rigorous program of study provided by 13 teacher training institutions and departments island-wide, the new teachers also access an additional 20 hours of incentive job readiness training delivered by the JTC. The program provides a full year of professional support for new teachers to develop the requisite skills and knowledge that will enable them to achieve success as experienced teachers in the education system. The sermon was held under the theme, Transforming Education in the Digital Space. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.